Hello walkers, and welcome to City Walks, I guess, the channel where I walk you around various cities around the world, as well as a few nature hikes and nature paths. We are in tonight, as I dodge and weave across traffic, Orelans, France. It's on the Loire River. We're doing a bike ride. And in fact, I'm going to flip you around real quick. Hopefully I don't have ice cream on my face because we just had ice cream. I'm going to try and flip you around. There we go. My name is Henry. I will be your proxy walker today, your virtual travel guide, your co-discover. Behind me you can see this beautiful cathedral. I say co-discoverer because I'm not an expert here. Just got into Orelans this afternoon and we're going to walk around. I'm going to flip you around again and I'm going to give you a better view of this beautiful cathedral. It is 20 degrees Celsius, 69 degrees Fahrenheit, 8 p.m. on a Monday evening in May. Let me tilt you up there. And this is the Cathédrale Sainte-Croix d'Orelans. Look at these awesome modern trams they have. Now, if you know of Orelans, you probably know of it through Joan of Arc. In fact, we are on, I think it's Rue Jeanne D'Arc. Yep, Rue Jeanne D'Arc. And the first week of May since 1432, when the Battle of Orelans was, the city, tap that. The city does, in the first week of May, a big celebration, Joan of Arc days kind of thing. And we missed that, which I'm kind of glad because it just adds a little extra chaos to the day. But you can see they've got a ton of flags up, and these are the Ukrainian flags, and then I don't know what the other flags are. I'm going to flip you around again and get another beautiful view of this church. I couldn't find a way to go in there to explore, so we're just going to make do. Here comes somebody going a little fast. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down this road because it's kind of cool. Skip over again. And then we'll loop over to the left, and there's another road and some other side streets that are kind of interesting and have a lot of cafes and historic buildings and the such. The city has about 150,000 people. It has been around for a long time. As you would expect from a city on the river in France, it's at the northernmost part of the Loire, so it's the closest to France. It has, back in the Middle Ages, there weren't a lot of bridges across the river, and Orelans had one, so they got very rich. They were one of the three richest cities for a while. It was important during the 100 Years' War, and that was when the siege of Orelans happened, and Joan of Arc came and helped save the day. And yeah, that's what I know about Orelans. We did go into Pinot Gelato, and they have excellent gelato, so I know that. And we just had dinner up here to the left on a charming little square, which was called Place de la Republique. And I'll give you a little view down there. I love these giant flags, even though I don't know their meaning. I suspect they have something to do with various departments in France. So you can see over there, beautiful light streaming in. We were under those umbrellas. And we'll go down a block or two and then make a left and come back and wend our way about as we are wont to do. I want to thank our Patreon supporters for all your support. Really, your contributions really do help make this channel happen, make these walks happen. And it's very inspirational to me. If you want to join, it's $5 a month, or you can do a one-time contribution via PayPal or coffee if you want to do that. We're gonna crossing Rue St. Catherine here, and we'll go down one more block, I think, just to see what we can see. Uh-oh. Gotta buy. Having a hard time. Love this. Cool old building. I think I mentioned that one of the things I like to do, the co-discover part of this gig, is to find little details like the graffiti of the cat over there. That's kind of fun. Little portholes and different things that strike my fancy, and then I point them out to you. I'm not an expert in Orleans or its history, as I've demonstrated already. We're crossing Rue de Albanese, and you got the Albanian symbol in 8-bit above it. And this is Rue Isabelle Romay, and you've got a half-timbered house down there, very medieval style. And look at this, you got a... It's amazing to me, the mix of this classic historic cut stone, these wonderful glass paned windows, and then more modern structures. Obviously, not obviously, but I believe there has been a variety of influences here in terms of warfare and destruction over the centuries. And look, there's a little hummingbird on the wall down there. Sometimes I have a little trouble remembering the exact word I want to use. Excuse me. It is an absolutely delightful evening here. There's a dress shop. I think a lot of these flags that are still up are from the celebration last week, sorry. If we continued down this way, we would get to the Loire, and maybe we'll duck down there at some point. But first, I want to go down Rue de Bourgogne. Again, I'll do my one-time apology for my pronunciations. I do the best I can. Any mispronunciation is not intentional. Look how cool that is, those medieval structures. Awesome. And then this is, I can't read the rue, but again, cool old buildings. It's a Monday night, so relatively tame. Actually unusual to see a brick building here. It's not block or wood. This is Rue Louis Rouget. Sorry, I had to check to see if my recorder was on. I often forget to do that, turn that on, my audio recorder, wireless mic. But I did remember to switch it to 60 frames a second for you guys.
Bah non, je sais pas, non, chez les gens, tu fais pas ça. C'est peut-être pareil, mais plus bouché,
I love just looking up and seeing these old buildings. Look at that. Just classic. And then you get the occasional old, looks almost like a 19th century bar. There's a big or popular English pub up to the right. English, Irish, Scottish, something like that. Left, sorry, on the left. It's been a long day. We did 46 miles. Again, not big. As we cross Rue de Pastereau, you can see all the way back to Rue de Jeanne D'Arc. A couple houses back there. And off to the right, down to the Loire. But this is where the action is. Not sure what this round building is. Église chrétienne évangélique, and you can see the towers of the cathedral in the setting sun. Beautiful. A lot of bikes, a lot of e-bikes, a lot of people out delivering Uber Eats. I'm going to duck down this way just because it looks cool and old. I think people have set these bags out. There's probably trash collection in the morning. Look at the light too. There's a surprising number of these half-timbered medieval buildings that have stuck around through the millennia in several of these cities in the Loire Valley. We are on Rue de la Poterne, and this off to the right is Rue de Poirier. Really just being drawn down here by this beautiful light, and I'm regretting a little bit that I'm going to have to climb back up. So it goes. I mean, here we go. 3 houses in a row. 3, maybe 4, count them. And at least, I would guess, 500 years old. Here's another one off to the left. Look at that. Amazing. Look at the slate paneling. And then you got these quiet little side streets. Oh, a little toilet. Most of the public toilets here are paid. So it's helpful to have a few euro coins jingling around in your pockets. A gelato place. Sort of a modern shopping center and cafe, a bunch of different places to eat. We're just going to pop down here. I'm going to show you the Loire River, where it's at flood stage, and then also point out the waterfront area. Should get out of the street. Cool old Mini. Nice, caught the light. There are 5 bridges across the Loire, one of which is Georges V. I think that might be it, but I'm not sure. Look at the light. Oh, and all the people down here enjoying the river. Oh yeah, good. Here's a sort of a dining boat thing. I don't know if these actually leave the docks, probably not. But you can see out there the island and the trees several feet up. The water several feet up on the trunks, up here even further. The island is completely submerged. It's spring runoff, I guess, and you can see the current just ripping along. But what I really wanted to say is this tree-lined embankment here runs, I feel like a couple miles. I don't know the exact amount. And there's walking and bike paths and people out here using it. Love it. I want to go up here and show you a couple of these boats as well. They've got a bunch of different special names, but I think they're pretty cool. They have they have masts that you can lower so that they can get under bridges. And then the masts tend to be disproportionately high so that they can catch the winds coming above the riverbanks. And they tend to have these little cabins on them, flat-bottomed. That one has an outboard motor. And I'll come down here and show you a better look. We've got a lot more modern buildings up here. A lot of people just out here having a good time, relaxing. A lot of swans in the area as well. We've been seeing a lot of those. It's pretty cool. They're square stern boats, but they're always square front, square bowed boats as well. Now, I think once the water was down a little safer, it'd be super fun to navigate around with one of those. And then you can see the sailed version. They even look almost medieval. You know, I'm going to give you a fair warning that my battery's very low at the moment, so it could run out at any point. All right, let's find a road back up to where we want to go. I think I'm going to go back this way. Pop. Hopefully this road off to the right takes us where we want to go. Rue de Bourgogne. Rue de Bourgogne. Yeah, nice. Will sort of take us where we want to go, the right direction. So we're on Rue de Boucher, and we're gonna, off to the right is Rue de Tanneur, so butchers and tanners. Obviously, not a lot of butchers and tanners here right at the moment. Just an empty square with a beautiful tree. A couple of them. Oh, steps. After pedaling for so far, steps are my nemesis. Not too many though. This building seems to be pretty modern. Now, as I walk through these beautiful historic streets, I always have to remember that, or I think it's important to remember that this is really cool and really interesting, but there's a whole other parts of the city where people actually live and have businesses and work that are modern and not that different from places in the States. They have gas stations and box stores and chain restaurants and stuff. Oh, here are the towers of the cathedral again. We're back on Rue de Bourgogne. Look at this tiny little smart car. It's the side of the cathedral. .30. The flying buttresses off to the side there. We're on Rue Pathier. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. The ornateness, the intricacy is stunning. They seem to be doing some remodeling work, restoration work. Amazing. these intricate, lace-like almost flying buttresses. Oh, I was hoping I could go back in there behind it, but it seems like it is not to be. Well, we'll just continue on and find what we can find. Oh, here we go. Just want you to take a look at those structures, and they're built to allow the walls of the main structure to be thinner. Otherwise, they'd have to be like 10 or 20 feet thick. Allows them to have those big giant glass windows, and really just amplifies the entire structure. Shazbot. There's a garden back there somewhere that my son was telling me about. I was really hoping we'd be able to get back in there. Ooh. Ooh. No. Thought there'd be a stairway or something there. All right, we are going to, well, there's no street name on this. So we're just going to go down this unnamed street. There seem to be quite a few Uber Eats bikers just kind of waiting around for the call. I've mentioned this in other videos, I think over in tour, that getting around these cities by bike is amazing. It's just so much easier than walking, so much easier than the bus, so much easier than the trams and a car. You don't really have to look very hard to find a place to park. I would say it's probably not great when it's a big rainstorm or snowstorm, but otherwise, man, it just cuts your commute time down. And because the culture here is one where one that sees people on bikes as equal owners of the road as cars, it's a lot safer, right? There's definitely places and towns in the States you would not want to ride your bike, would not feel comfortable riding your bike, but here it's different. Back on Rue de Bourgogne, and this is Rue de la Fauconnerie. No idea if I got that right. And we're coming up on kind of a main street here. It's called, can't quite tell you that, Rue de la Tour Neuve. You see they have a electric bike sharing program here. Well, I think they're electric bikes, maybe they aren't. They don't really need to be if they have good gears. Let's duck down towards this church on Rue Saint-Côme, which is not really what I wanted to do. A bummer. That's right, we can loop around. Rue Edouard Fournier. This is kind of where I wanted to go. After all, don't get hit by a car. Here we go. Thought these were going to be buildings, and there is the park. And there's people out here that I'm going to show you on the way back. Playing Pétanque or boule. I'm not sure which. But I want to go check out this church first. Oh, here's a little kitty cat. It was almost certainly going to run away. Kiki, Kiki? Maybe not. Hey, Kiki. Push our luck there. This one has flying buttresses too. Look at that. Little ones. Seems to be a public court of some sort. Oh, what a great way to spend an evening. Hanging out with your friends in the park, playing boule or pétanque or something. Okay, this is gonna be a short one because I'm back at my hotel, Hotel Jack Hotel. And I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. It's a beautiful, beautiful evening here in Orelans. I will be hopefully doing some more walks soon. And I hope you'll join me for them. Until then, keep on stepping.